systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? We are back with another edition of the NBA show. We got an antsy crew in here today, Matt. They're yelling at us for not coming on. I was chopping up my boy Matt backstage. Hadn't caught up all week, but hey, we're here now. We got 9 games. We got a bunch of gross injuries on the slate tonight, Matt. We talked a little bit about it pre-show. Starts at 7 o'clock. Last game tips at 10 o'clock. DraftKings normally doesn't include those late night tips, Matt. So kind of disappointed in they're getting those. FanDuel is going to have them as well. So it's 9 games on both slate. Bad weather across the country. But, Matt, I'll bring you right in, man. How was your week? Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, happy Friday to you too, man. Week's been pretty good. Better now that I'm talking some hoops with you. I see the chat, like you said, pretty antsy. Got some guys talking about bong rips, speaking my love language over here. So I like where the chat is at. Excited to talk over the slate with you. It's definitely a doozy. Not only did they include the late games, but we just have injury news all over. Like a bunch of big guys out tonight. So it's going to be one of those slates where there's almost too many good plays. Certainly in any one lineup, you're not going to be able to play everyone you want. But I'm excited to break it down and kind of go through what plays we like best.
Yeah, absolutely. If you do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And one thing we were not doing pre-show is I was not outside shoveling snow. We talked about it last Friday night. One thing I'm not going to be doing is shoveling snow. But I will say this, Matt, man, there was a bunch of trees, bunch of limbs down in my yard. That wasn't a cheap endeavor. And hopefully no one ever has to go through that because that's cheap. And it's those limbs get pretty heavy when they're in your yard. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe as I just alluded to. If you aren't a member at the Nation, head on over there now. You get 5 days, $19. No better time to get in now. We got MMA that's cooking up again. NBA 7 days a week over here. We got the NFL that's going to conclude next Sunday. So no better time to get in over here at the Nation. All right, Matt, we got a lot of games, so we're going to get right into it. We got the Lakers taking on this Wizards team. Should be a good game, in my opinion. The biggest news here, obviously, Luka is questionable. Maybe some news has come out since I last looked, Matt, but I don't know if he's questionable, doubtful, questionable, probable, but he is questionable. Pretty much everybody else is going to be in tonight for the Lakers. Austin Reeves has been out, so not going to talk about him. Trey Johnson is going to be out for the Wizards. Chris Middleton, second night of a back-to-back. He's going to be sitting this one out. The bag man, Marvin Bagley Jr., been out, but I think this is a great game, and I think if Luka sits, this Wizards team is going to get another dub. I watched the end of that Bucks game last night. They're young. What's his name? Keyshawn George, man, that guy's a good basketball player. Yeah. Enjoyed watching him. But talk to me a little bit about this game. Lakers at Washington.
Yeah, so definitely a really appealing game from a DFS perspective. Unfortunately, it's hard to break down because not only is Luka questionable, but Reeves is questionable also. Presuming you get one of those guys back, not the other. Like if Luka is out, obviously everyone on the Lakers is going to get a big boost. LeBron in particular, probably the biggest. He's going to look really, really good. You start to get to like the Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smarts of the world, especially if both Reeves and Luka are out. If Reeves is back and Luka's out, we'll have to see what they plan to do if they let us know in terms of like a minutes limit for Reeves. He's kind of being projected midway through because projection, they don't really know what to do with him as of now. So a lot of wait and see with the Lakers. Certainly they're in a good spot against the Wizards. Luka did roll his ankle a couple nights ago against Cleveland. So wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play here. We'll obviously find out before the slate starts because it's the first game, but the slate can kind of flip on a dime with Luka being out because even though we have a ton of guys being out on this slate, none of them have the usage or impact that Luka does. So all of a sudden in a really good spot against Washington, you take him out and Reeves isn't back. again, Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, Jake LaRavias. I mean, we're talking about all these scrubby guys on the Lakers that you normally wouldn't want to play. And I still don't want to play, but they would look really good from a value perspective. If we get them both in and the Lakers are kind of running their full lineup, I think Luka at 11-9 is going to look good here. I mean, he should smash in this spot against a Wizards team that likes to play fast and doesn't play defense. So lots to like there. As far as the Washington side goes, I think my favorite piece is the guy you just mentioned, Keyshawn George. They're not at full strength here on the second leg of a back-to-back. No Middleton tonight, no Trey Johnson. So it's just going to make their normal guys look better, namely Keyshawn George. I think Alex Sarr looks good. You know, there's going to be other centers that look better from a points per dollar perspective, but he's just playing really good ball right now. Still under 8K, smashing that tag. I'm good with him. Then you get to a couple of value guys I think are in play. Jameer Watkins. I see him projecting well in some places, so I don't hate him. Champagny at 5K and Will Riley at 4K. I don't think any of these guys are going to like win the slate for you, but I think they're all fine filler pieces to get you the guys that will win the slate for you. How do you see it?
Yeah, agree with everything you said on the Lakers side. I mean, Luka, we just got to see what happens with him. And then, yeah, if Jameer Watkins is going to start like we see there, I think I like your point there. That's a great play, value play. Sarr's creeping up there in price, so I don't love that, but, you know, he's a good player. Keyshawn George is a good player. I really like this Wizards team in terms of just watching them play basketball. And then Champagny, I like that call as well. That was a good call tonight. He was playing a bunch too. So, yeah, I'm interested in these Wizards and then wait and see kind of on what the Lakers. If Reeves is – I mean, does Reeves being out make you like Luka even more? I mean, I know that Luka's going to do it regardless, but does you like Luka even more if Reeves were to miss? And Luka's
have to. I mean, Reeves would be coming back from a decently long absence, but certainly would like Luka more if Reeves is out. With Reeves in, Luka is probably too expensive at 11-9. Now, it's Reeves' first game back if he's in, and they're playing the Wizards, so I don't think Luka's a bad play by any means. But on a normal basis, I think that you'll see Luka's price probably 11.5 or cheaper when they're fully healthy.
Yeah, good call. Got a cat jumping up on here now. No big deal. The Cheetah has spoken. He said Bub Carrington. He likes Bub Carrington tonight. Good call there. Next game up on the slate is going to be the Raptors. Is going to be this Magic team in Orlando. Franz Wagner's still going to miss. Other than that, I don't see any major injury news to report on either side. So talk to me a little bit about this game. You got the Raptors, kind of that four-headed monster, if you will, taking on this Magic team led by Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, so I'll be pretty short and sweet here. A lot of good spots on this slate with games that are really appealing, teams that are really appealing. This is not one of them. This game is not that appealing from a DFS perspective. You've got both teams pretty fully healthy, and price tags are where they should be. So do I think guys like Paolo Banchero, bad plays? No, but not priorities. No one in this game is likely to be over 10% owned, and I think that makes sense. If I were playing one lineup right now, no one in this game would be in it. Again, all the main guys that you can play are in play. I just don't think they're priorities on this specific slate. Toronto guys like Barnes at 9,200, he's going to be 2% owned. So as a spend up to be contrarian, sure, but like, you know, he doesn't project well at all for that price tag. So I'm good on this game. I don't know if you see it differently.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, the Magic game, I feel like they play really good defense. They always play slow. I feel like don't love much, but if I had to pick one, like you said, I mean, not that it's, diamond in the rough at Paolo, even at 9.5, I don't think is the worst. I don't love it. I think Scotty Barnes is going to be guarding him tonight, which Scotty's, good and long. So don't love this game at all. We can move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
Moving on to the next one is Sacramento, coming off a heartbreaking defeat last night in the city of brotherly love. But, hey, the news on this one is the injury news. No JB. Got to give a shout-out to my boy, Hebrew Cheetah. No Domantas Sabonis. No Westbrook in this one. Murray's been out. I'm really loving my boy, the point guard, the shrewd man, Dennis Schroeder. Love him. He was balling last night. He's only 5,100. But this should be a good game, in my opinion, in terms of fantasy points because the Kings You talked about not playing defense earlier. They don't play much defense at all. Talk to me about this game, Kings at the Celtics.
Yeah, so this game is definitely more appealing than the last one. Starting off, we'll talk Sacramento. Your boy Dennis the Menace Schroeder right back in play here. No Russell Westbrook certainly puts him in play, and then no Sabonis really helps because when Sabonis is on the floor, a lot of the Kings offense runs through him. So you take both guys out, both guys that have the ball in their hands a ton. Schroeder is way too cheap at 5,100. Coming off a really good game last night, I think you go right back to him here in a spot that got a lot easier with no Jaylen Brown. So he looks good here. No Sabonis opens up the big man minutes for Raynaud and Dylan Cardwell. I think Cardwell is probably the more interesting play in DFS right now at 4,500. Going to soak up a lot of those backup 5 minutes. Is going to play blowout run if this game gets wonky. So Schroeder and Cardwell look like, I think, my 2 favorite pieces from Sacramento. It's hard to really prioritize anyone else there. I know Malik Monk being back. Last night you had no Monk and no Westbrook for Schroeder. With no Sabonis here, I'm more than fine, again, going right back to Schroeder in this spot. I think he looks like one of the better plays on the slate at 5,100. From the Boston side, all their guys are now wildly in play with no Jaylen Brown here. So we've read this book before. Now they're in a really good matchup against Sacramento. Peyton Pritchard going to be one of, if not the highest owned player on the slate. Derek White, been inconsistent, but this is a good get-right spot for him at an under 8K price tag and a really good spot. So both those guys look really, really good here. Anthony Simons, 4,700. We know he's got real nice upside at that tag if he gets hot, if the shot is falling. If it's not, probably a guy you don't want. But in tournaments, we're only talking about the upside, and he's got it at 4,700. Then you start to get to like cheap guys. Baylor Shireman, fine. Hugo Gonzalez, fine. Like, I think these guys are all going to get run. And then as Missoula does, he's going to go with the hot hand. So Sam Hauser at 5,200, I think you can play him. I think you can look at the centers with Kata back. I'm not excited about it. All in all, I think this is a game we want exposure to. I don't think there's any one guy in particular. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess outside the guards, Schroeder and then the 2 guards from Boston, not sure there's any priorities, but there's certainly guys that you can roster.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think anyone loves Dylan Cardwell more than you. You mentioned him on last Friday night show too. Guy's gonna good. Guy's gonna hustle. He's not gonna shoot it much, but he's gonna hustle and get some rebounds and some tips and deflections and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's White and Pritchard for me on the Boston side. I played Kata the other night and regretted it the minute that thing locked. That guy is just terrible. And then Dennis Schroeder as well. Love him. I'm not playing anybody else on the Kings. They're not any good, in my opinion. So, yeah, love me some Schroeder, then love me the 2 guards for the Celtics. They're going to be popular. But Peyton and Derek are going to be hoisting that thing up there left and right. Moving on to the next game, got the Jailblazers headed into the MSG to take on this Knicks team. Should be a good game. Denny's back tonight, or he is playing tonight. So talk to me about this one. You got interesting game, in my opinion, Portland at New York.
Yeah, so Denny is questionable. If he's in, it's going to be, make everyone else on Portland look not quite as good. Price tags are up with these Portland guys. Like Shaedon Sharpe at 8K or 7,900 with Denny in doesn't look good at all. But you take Denny out, all of a sudden the usage rises, obviously just a lot more shot equity. Then guys like Shaedon Sharpe start to become in play. I think you need Denny out to really want to play other guys on Portland. If Denny is in, I think you can play Denny, but he seems too expensive for his current role now that Drew Holiday's back. So Portland's a team I'm not overly interested in. Honestly, this game, it's more appealing than Toronto and the Magic, but not by that much. Like Mitchell Robinson looks like a good value play. I think we'll get better value plays, though. He's, playing a bunch right now for him, and we know that when he's on the court, he's going to, rack up stats. He's a really good rebounder, can block shots. So at 4,300, I think he looks pretty good. Cat, I think is in play. Brunson, these guys are now mid to lower 8K range, but I'm not excited about anything on New York. All in all, if I were playing one lineup, I don't think I'd get to anything from this game. Maybe that's a contrarian take. Do you see it differently?
I mean, yeah, I like the Mitrov call at 4,300. I mean, he's going to get, 25 plus minutes maybe. How many, like, what does he need to get at 4,300? 30 points, 35 points, like to be viable in your opinion?
Yeah, to be viable, I mean, I think you get to 25 plus and you're fine with it. To be like, I needed him and I really want him in tournaments, I think 30 plus at 4,300. And he's got that in his bag, but he usually doesn't play enough for that. So, like, I think he's got really high point per dollar upside at this price tag, but I'm not sure he's got like the 10x upside that you might want to see from other guys in this price range. That said, like, looking at the $4,300 price range, you don't see many guys that have 10x upside because that's why they're 4,300.
Right. Good stuff. The only other thing I'd say there is I do have I think a little bit more interest in Cat than you do.
That's fair.
I like that tag on him, and not sure who's going to guard him from the Trailblazer slot. I hope Klingon tries to cover Towns. I don't think he'll be able to do it. So, and then I'm with you on the Trailblazers. Don't really love anybody over there. Caleb, speaking of Love, Caleb Love would be my favorite, but 5,400 is too much for him. He doesn't play enough. Moving on to the next game. I feel like this is a rematch from last Friday night, but this time it's in New Orleans instead of Memphis.
I feel like these teams play all the time.
And it's always a track meet. It's always a good game. But this is going to be a different game because we got a bunch of injuries on the Memphis side specifically, most notably 1 versus 2. We got Zion in, Ja Morant, who would be number 2 in the draft. He's out. Santi Aldama is out, which I played Santi Aldama the other night, Matt, and lo and behold, he did not end up playing. It was not a good night for your boy Ham. But in any event, no major injuries to report on the Pelican side. Zach Edey's still out for the Grizzlies as well. So no injuries to report, new injuries to report on the Pelicans. So talk to me a little bit about this game. I think it's going to be a good fantasy game. Memphis at New Orleans, 231.5 point total.
Yeah, so I'll start by saying that I do think this game looks pretty good, really good from a 30,000-foot view. I don't think there's like any one guy from either side that you have to roster. More just, I think it's a really good game environment and price tags are pretty reasonable. So from the Memphis side, still no Aldama. You talked about no Edey still. Jaren Jackson, 7,500, inconsistent, but has upside at this price tag. We just saw it in 2 out of 3 games. He's in play. Cam Spencer coming off a down game, now priced a little bit cheaper at 6,100. He's in play. Jock Landale, really good spot. Centers just eat up New Orleans. Queen is maybe the worst defender in the NBA. So Jock Landale, he looks pretty good. Cedric Howard, I'm cool with. Those 4 guys I think are all, in play here. Gigi Jackson, I think is a tournament flyer at a cheap price tag that's not going to get any ownership. So those guys all look pretty good here. I think the New Orleans side looks a little bit better, but pretty similar with Zion, Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey. All 3 of those guys I think are in play. Herb Jones at a pretty good tag, and I talk about this a lot. Shooting guard and small forward eligible for Herb. So can play him at 5 different spots. If you got $4,400 left for one guy, I don't mind him at all. Not a guy I'm building around, but perfectly fine with him as a filler or last piece. I'm with you. This game does look good from a DFS perspective. Again, though, I don't think there's any one guy that you have to roster. I think Zion is the closest to that from this game, but wouldn't mind at all if I end up with a couple pieces from New Orleans, a piece or 2 from Memphis in any lineup I make.
Yeah. Cam Spencer, you said down game last game, no Ja. Are you going back to the well tonight at 6,100? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, last game was pretty discouraging, but much tougher spot against Houston. Their bench played well, so lost a little bit of run. Yeah, I'm more than fine going back to him here. I like him without Ja. I wish he were cheaper, but he's not. I don't think the field is going to get to him at the rate they should. So yeah, I am interested in him here. If I were playing one lineup, I wouldn't like lock him in, but he'd be in the mix for me.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about him is he's not going to play like 32, 35 minutes. They're going to cap him right around 28.
I
They're
feel
going
like
to
that's
cap
just
all
what
those
Memphis does.
Yeah, I was going to say they cap all those dudes. So that kind of limits his ceiling, Jaren's ceiling. But yeah, Trey Murphy. Yeah, I love Trey Murphy. Love Zion at $7,800. That's a great price. And I think that'll do it for me. No fears up against my boy Lou Dort. Oh, they're going at it the other night. That was pretty fun to watch, or whenever that was. That was some good stuff. Two questions for you before we move on to the next game. What's on the front of your hat?
It's a Tulane logo,
Tulane,
my
okay,
alma mater.
yeah.
So
There we
Green
go.
Wave.
The Green Wave. And then I had another question for you. Totally off topic. Where is it? Hold on. I got to find it.
Please bring it. I love off-topic questions, so I'm excited. I have no idea where this is going, but I'm excited.
Oh, I can't find it, but it said, "Are you doing MLB content this year?"
Yes.
TBD. You are nice.
Yes.
You doing it here? Yeah, here we go.
We will talk about it at a further date.
All right. I didn't know it was a sore subject. Murphy or White, FanDuel, GPP. For me, it's Trey Murphy and White. Both of them. Play both of them. But do you have one or the other?
I think White is the better play on paper, but he's also going to be much higher owned. So, I mean, it's hard. Like those Boston guards are going to be 50, 60% owned. So like they're the best plays on the slate. But when you factor in ownership, that's when maybe a Trey Murphy starts to look as good. So it just depends on kind of how you want to play it.
Yeah. Good stuff there. Moving on to the next game, we have your Cleveland Cavaliers, Matt's hometown team, taking on the Devin Bookerless Phoenix Suns tonight. Should be a good game. We got some injuries on both sides. For that matter, Evan Mobley. How long is he out? I thought like 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. But anyway, Mobley's out. How many?
A couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, which is disappointing. He's had a good season. And then Darius Garland, the Nashville native, is going to be sitting this one out as well. Outside of that, no major injuries to report. But talk to me a little bit about this game. Cleveland in the desert taking on the Suns.
Yeah, so this game, really good game from a real life perspective for sure. Lot to like here. Phoenix on the second half of a back-to-back. They walloped Detroit last night. Grayson Allen was really good. Now they get Jalen Green back, though. So with price tags kind of rising with Booker being out, I don't think there's anything from Phoenix that's a priority. I think all the guys that have been playing for them, like Dylan Brooks, monster game last night, 40 real points, 60-plus fantasy points, 6,800. I think he's in play, but probably priced where he should be with Booker out. Now Jalen Green's back. Same with Grayson Allen. So these guys are just tournament plays that I would get to if I were playing 150. Colin Gillespie, similar story. Mark Williams, similar story. From the Cleveland side, they look better here. They don't look amazing, but they do look better with no Mobley, no Garland. Donovan Mitchell coming off a really rough first half. Wasn't great last time out. I think you can go right back to him at 9,900. This game should be competitive. He's their true alpha, their dog, especially with Mobley out. So he's probably a little bit too cheap, honestly, for no Garland and no Mobley. Totally cool with Mitchell at 9,900. More than fine with making him a building block, especially if we get like Luka out and more value. So yeah, Spida looks good here. Jared Allen, 6,800, was on his way, was pacing for a monster game last time out. They ended up rolling the Lakers, so he didn't play for the entire fourth quarter and a bunch of the third. Ended up being just okay. Now 6,800. I think he's in play for me. I'm not like going out of my way to play Jared Allen, but I think he's in play at 6,800, obviously with the plus rebounding equity with Mobley out, etc. Game should be competitive. I think those are the two main guys. I love Jalen Tyson. He's been the biggest surprise by far in the Cavs this season. He's just awesome to watch. Top 5 in the NBA in 3-point percentage. Also leading guards in offensive rebounding per game. So just a dog. Like him a lot, but he's expensive at 6,900. So certainly not a priority for me. But again, in what should be a competitive and maybe high-scoring game, I think you can look at some of these ancillary pieces, albeit if they're too expensive. But for me, only real priority from this game would have to be Donovan Mitchell. Other than that, just secondary guys.
Yeah, man. I don't know if that's a career high, but it's not every day that DB Dylan Brooks scores 40 real life points. He's upped his offensive game this year in the for his new team. I was touting, I don't know if you remember, but I was touting Jared Allen to you last week against the Kings. And you were saying you were going to play him. Hopefully it didn't cost you any money. He ended up getting like 35 DraftKings points.
The Kings were awful in that game. I remember I played in one lineup a bunch of guys from that game, and they like started off so bad. They brought in their whole bench, and the bench was really good.
Yeah, the bench brought him back. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell, love him tonight, 9-9. Jared Allen maybe at 6'8", but I think there's other pieces at center. And then, yeah, your boy Tyson, man, he's kind of burst onto the scene this year. He's fun to watch, too. He's a good player. 6,900, don't hate that. Colin Gillespie, I don't remember. I don't remember you hearing his name. Do you like him at all, or not really with Jalen Green coming back?
That's the thing. I think he's in play, but that's it with Jalen Green back. Now priced, they're basically the same price tag. So I think you have to play a bunch of lineups to begin to these Phoenix guys now with where they're priced with Green back.
Yep, gotcha. All right, good stuff there. Next game up on the slate, it's the return. It's the return of the Joker. Joker is planning on playing. I haven't seen any news in the last 45 minutes, so that could have changed, but he's planning on playing tonight. You would imagine he's on some sort of minutes restriction, but I can't wait to have him back on the court, just watching him hoop again. He's fun to watch. Should be a good game. Aaron Gordon is going to sit this one out. My boy CB, Christian Brown, is going to be sitting this one out as well. He's been out for quite some time. But no other major injuries to report for the Nuggets. I think Jamal's going to give it a go. Cam Johnson's been out for quite some time. But talk to me a little bit about this game. No major injuries on the Clipper side, but you got LA at Denver.
Yeah, with Jokic back here and a full freight price tag for him. Honestly, this game might be the least appealing game on the slate from a DFS perspective. It's right there with Toronto, Orlando, if nothing else. From the Denver side, unless it's Jokic himself, you can't really get to much there at all with guys priced for him being out for this long. So like Jamal Murray close to 10K with Jokic in, I'm good. In this matchup, no thanks. Then you look at the Clipper side, like Kawhi's back. Harden always going to be in play. I think he would be the one guy that you could make a strong case for, honestly, from this entire game. And even him is just a contrarian spend up guy in tournaments. So I got nothing from this game. I don't know if there's anyone you like.
Nope, I'm with you there. I mean, yeah, Jokic, when we have him at 25 minutes, I mean, I don't think he can get there at 12.5. So yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, you said it. 10K for Murray with Joker back. No, thank you. And then those other guys that have played well in his absence aren't going to touch the ball enough to do it. And then, yeah, I'm not paying 9.8 or 9.3 for Harden or Kawhi on the other side. We can move on to the next game. I think it's got the lowest total, one of the lowest totals tonight as well at 216. All right, this should be a fun one. Interested to see what you'd say in this one. It's never the Nets for me, but they get the gift that keeps on giving, and that's the Utah defense. Hebrew was calling you out earlier, Matt, saying you're the Utah whisperer. So is it Ace tonight? Is it I forget Collier? Is it Collier tonight? We got no MPJ tonight for the Nets. No marketing for the Jazz. Mr. Triple-Double himself, Yusuf Nurkic, is sitting this one out. Noah Clowney is out for the Nets. And then Kevin Love is out for Utah. I'm excited about this game. I think the Jazz have 15 wins on the year, and our boy Cheetah was pounding the table for over 19.5. So we got 5 more wins to go, Hebrew Cheetah, to get there on the season. But talk to me a little bit about this game, the Nets at Utah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, for better or for worse, just how the cookie crumbles tonight. This game is the most appealing from a DFS perspective. What do you think I was going to say?
Well, I don't know. You just said the way the cookie crumbles. I thought you were saying you're going to fade it. I just hate playing the Nets, but you got to have some of them.
Yeah, I never play Brooklyn, but you have to tonight. They're in such a good spot with guys out. You can't avoid them here, really. Starting with the Utah side, though, I think they're a little bit cleaner, easier to break down. 3 main guys for me from Utah. You could play more, but for me, it's just 3 main guys. First off, Filipowski is going to be the main guy. I think cash game lock guy you're going to be certainly interested in tournaments. Gets a huge bump with no Nurk, no Kevin Love, and no Marketing. He's going to eat up a lot of those big man minutes. He's too cheap for this spot in his role tonight. He looks like one of the best plays on the slate. Keontae George, going to have the ball in his hands a ton. It's not a particularly good matchup on paper for him, but I just think the usage is going to be too high to ignore against a bad team in a game that should be competitive and likely high scoring, if nothing else, sloppy. So turnovers, a lot of steals in this game. I like Keontae at 8,200. And then Ace Bailey, you're paying for him here, so just a tournament play, but I'm interested in him in tournaments. In a game we like a lot, he's not going to get a ton of love. I think you could play this game a little bit differently and play more Utah than Brooklyn, where most people are going to have more Brooklyn than Utah. Those would be my three main guys. From the Brooklyn side, kind of a lot to mull through here. Really cheap tags for this spot with guys out. So Danny Wolf, 4,500. You're missing just a lot. Michael Porter, Noah Clowney, projected for big ownership, but should be because he's going to play a bunch and his projection is just doesn't match a $4,500 price tag. Day'Ron Sharp, 4,600, going to play all those backup 5 minutes. And we know he's a points per minute beast. He's a guy that just racks up DFS points when he's on the floor. Cam Thomas, finally interested in him. Hebrew brought him up to me like last week or the week before. Now his price is even cheaper, and you just got a lot of their offense out tonight. So Cam Thomas, I think you can play here. Minutes are starting to ramp up. Didn't play last night. He's a guy that does have 10x upside at 4,600. He could also nuke your entire lineup by putting up 10 fantasy points, but there's 10x upside easily within him in this spot. Terrence Mann, I'm fine with him. Like Nick Claxton.
I was going to say Claxton. Claxton's my favorite person.
I like Sharp over Claxton almost always at the 2K difference. I'm just personally very rarely going to pay full freight for Claxton, especially when they're sitting some guys here. I think you could see Claxton minute load be light here. On paper, I get it. Like, he's not that expensive and he's in a really good spot and he's not going to get as much ownership as some of the other Brooklyn guys. So in that sense, I like playing him. But in the other sense, I like paying cheap. I like playing cheap Brooklyn, not paying up for it.
Yeah. And they played last night too, I believe. I think the Nets played Denver last night, if I'm not mistaken. And
yeah, they did. Michael Porter in the monster game.
No, that makes sense. He went home last night and had a good game. And like you said, I don't even know who this clown coach is for the Nets, but he could do some crazy stuff and play Claxton like 20 minutes and Day'Ron 30 or something like that. Yeah, Danny Wolf is another one that I like. All right, so you mentioned both of them, but I need you to pick one. Ace Bailey versus Isaiah Collier, same price in essence.
Collier's my boy, so this is tough for me because he's like one of my favorite players in the league. But tonight I got to go Ace. Same tag. Utah's not missing any guards. They're missing some big men. Could see maybe Ace move up a spot here, more rebounding equity, even though all he really likes to do is score. Give me Ace. I like Utah's young core. I really do.
Would you rather have Utah's young core or Washington's young core?
Utah. I think there's really workable pieces with both. I think Sarr and Keyshawn George, that's close, man. You got Keyshawn George, Sarr. I answered that too quickly. So Keyshawn George, Sarr, Trey Johnson, those are the three main guys I'm looking at there. Then you got like Keyshawn George, Walker Kessler, all these other like Ace Bailey. Oh, man, Philip is close. I think Island Utah. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Trey Young that plays for the Washington Wizards? You didn't even mention him.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't really think of him as being part of their young core. But if you want to throw him in there, then give me Utah for sure. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's close. Both got really good young pieces for sure. I think Sarr might be the best. I don't know, Sarr or Keyshawn George. That's really close right now.
Yeah. I bet you Trey Young's not even 28 years old, I bet.
You're right. He was so phenomenal in college too. But man, you can't really put him as part of a young core.
No, I know. I was just messing with you. Good stuff there. We got a few more games to break down. I actually got one more game. Now we've blown through this. We got the I just saw someone put in the chat that Cade got the questionable tag. So I don't know if that's new.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new for sure.
Okay, he's questionable. Jimmy Butler is definitely not playing tonight. No other major injuries to report. Kuminga.
He's probable, Cade.
Cade's probable. Okay, that's good. He's probably going to play. But they obviously played last night, gave up 40 points to some guy named Dylan Brooks. So talk to me a little bit about this game. No Kuminga, no JB, Jimmy Butler, who's out for the season, obviously. Someone put in our chat, someone was dogging Draymond Green last night in our chat. Man, Draymond's he's a tough watch, man. I don't know if you're a Draymond fan or not. We talked about players we like and don't like, and he's a tough watch in my opinion. But I love Steph tonight, obviously. But anybody else in this game that you want to talk about? Pistons trying to get back on track, taking on Golden State.
Yeah, not a great spot for DFS cookies, I should say here. Like Curry, 9K always has upside at this tag in a game that should be close, but it's not a good spot. I mean, Detroit plays really good defense. We're never going out of our way to play guys against Detroit. So on one hand, you've got Curry, who's probably too cheap for his upside. On the other hand, he's not going to play 35 plus minutes here, and it's in a tough spot. So I think Curry's in play, but far from a priority. And nothing else from Golden State here. And then from Detroit, Cade always in play. I'm never going to get mad at anyone for playing Cade, but you're paying full price for it. So he doesn't project great here. And you're using up a guard spot that's going to be, in high, like you're going to want to, there's going to be a lot of good guards in play, I should say. Sorry for the brain fart there. Jalen Duren coming off a monster game last night, 7,800. Like, there's just nothing really here. Those guys you can always play, like Duren and Cade. They have upside. Steph has upside. But there's certainly no building blocks in this game. Both teams are pretty healthy. Price tags are where they should be. There's just so much goodness from the other spots that we've talked about. I can't see prioritizing anything from this game. I really can't.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I mean, obviously, to me, it's like you got to wait on the Luka news, and then you can really start to get busy if you wanted to play somebody like Cade. But don't love this. Yeah, someone in the chat says Detroit doesn't guard threes. Michael does. And then I think old Hebrew's taking a shot at me, Matt. He's saying Trey's hairline is 45. What does he have against 45-year-olds hairlines, Matt? So I think the Cheetah's taking a shot at me.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I'm not 45 yet, but if you ever wondered why I wear a hat every day, just read that remark.
There we go. Well, that'll do it, folks. Hey, that's all 9 games. We got a bunch of people in here watching. We certainly appreciate you tuning in each and every day, Monday through Friday, that we have a live show here. I'm here on Friday with my boy Matt. But do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna say, give me your top score tonight on the slate, Matt, and then give me your 10x play of the day.
Top scorer on the slate, and I'm going to presume that Luka and Jokic are out for this, or that Luka's out. Jokic's not playing full run.
Yeah, right.
And it's going to be Luka if he's in. But if he's out, give me Spida, Donovan Mitchell as the high scorer on the slate. And then my 10X guy, I'm going to go back to a guy we just talked about. Give me Cam Thomas. I know Rio is salivating over there over Cam Thomas. I'm going to ride the train here.
Cam Thomas. I'm going to go. My 10X guy is going to be my boy Mitch Robb. Mitch Robb's he's going to,
wow.
Yeah, my guy Matt said he couldn't go 10X. I'm going to say he gets like 19 boards, 12 points. That would get him close and maybe a block or two. Give me Mitch Robb. And then my high score on the slate's going to be, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't really have anybody, but I'll say, I can't say Cat. I just said Mitch Robb. I don't want to go double dip. I'm going to go Mitch Robb, and I'm going to leave it at that. But I do like the Wizards tonight plus 9.5. I'm going to be all over those Wizards tonight. And Luka's out. I'm going to sprinkle a little on the money line. That's some good stuff there. That'll do it for me. Any closing thoughts before we head on out of here, Matt?
No, man, that's all I got. Always a blast breaking down these Friday slates with you. We have a wild one tonight. So if you're not able to be at your computer until the last game locks, I would recommend not playing that many lineups.
just lower the bankroll a little bit. People will be sweating Cam Thomas tonight. I couldn't think of anything worse to do on a Friday night. Be safe out there. Enjoy this weekend. We'll be back. We'll have content all weekend, and then we'll be back with a live show on Monday. For Matt, this is Sam. Just ship.